Oh.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. It's the holiday season, and in honor of that, I wanted to share my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. Let's get into the video.
Ow! Son of a... You just lost your membership at Video Spot!
Dang it.
Before I get into my top 10 Christmas movies, please remember that these are my opinions only. So please don't blast me for putting Jingle All the Way at my number 1 slot. So, starting off at number 10, we have The Santa Claus. In my childhood, this solidified my belief in Santa Claus to this day.
To this day! To this day!
He's real. I know it. We see Scott Calvin and his son Charlie as they navigate their way through the Christmas season. Now, Scott isn't the best father, and we see his journey as he becomes a better father to his son Charlie. Yeah, it's a great Christmas movie. At number 9, for many of you, this may be controversial because it might be higher up on your list. It's A Christmas Story. I didn't grow up with this movie. I only started watching it when I was like a teenager and stuff during Christmas. Ralphie is hilarious, and his brother, when he's getting tied up in the bundle of coats and stuff and can't move, is hilarious. It's just the classic Christmas movie. I wish I did grow up with it more, but unfortunately not. And that's why I'd have to put it at my number 9. My next movie is a sequel, but it's a dang good movie. And I considered putting it above the original, but I didn't, because the original is amazing. This movie, at number 8, is Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2, we see Kevin McAllister take on New York. In the first movie, he gets left home alone as he defends himself against 2 crooks, the Wet Bandits. He finds them in New York City somehow, and he does the same thing in the first movie, and it's a great time.
What?
Number 7 is The Polar Express. I love this movie because I watched it a lot growing up and stuff. The one thing I hate about this movie is that kid on the train. Yeah, that kid. We all know who we're talking about there. Yeah, it's just an all-around great Christmas movie. We see the main character struggling to believe in Santa Claus. But yeah, Polar Express at number 7. Number 6, I never thought this would be on my list before I watched it, but Klaus surprised me. It is an emotional Christmas movie, and it makes you want to cry. I haven't watched it since last year, but I just remember it being an amazing Christmas movie and very underrated. You can find it on Netflix, and I think it came out like 1 or 2 years ago, but I would definitely give that a watch. Number 5 is Christmas Vacation. I love this movie because the family dynamic between Clark Griswold and his family. My dad quotes it every year.
The little lights are not twinkling.
And every week.
Where's the Tylenol?
Christmas Vacation at number 5. Number 4, it's not really considered a Christmas movie, but it is one of my favorite movies. It was called Just Friends, and it stars Ryan Reynolds, and his character is named Chris, and he finds himself stuck in the friend zone.
Oh my God!
Many years later, it fast forwards to the same girl. They start to find chemistry again, but this time Chris is a bachelor, as Ryan Reynolds is. He's the heartthrob amongst the guy community. And that's all I have to say. Give this movie a watch because this is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I just had to find a way to put it on this list because it has Christmas in the movie. But yeah. My number 3 pick, you guys might hate me for this, but Elf is at number 3. For many of you, Elf might be number 1, but I just had to put it in this 3rd slot because I just don't think it is as good as my number 1 and number 2 pick. It explores that father-son dynamic, and it's that fish out of water story as Buddy travels to New York City to find his dad. Yeah, it makes for a great movie. By the end, Buddy has a perfect life. He has 2 dads with James Caan and Santa Claus. Home Alone is number 2 for me. Now, I said I considered putting the second movie over this one, but there's no way that it beats the classic. There's a reason it's number 2. I don't know how you guys feel about it being at number 2. As a kid, this is how I imagined I would try to defend myself if 2 burglars broke into my house. I mean, every kid has that imagination, or has that thought. Home Alone is the perfect idea for a movie. Number 1 is so easy. I must stop Christmas from coming. Is The Grinch. This is the gateway drug for kids watching Jim Carrey movies. This was the first Jim Carrey movie I watched, and all the way growing up, I have steadily watched all of Jim Carrey's movies, and he is one of my favorite actors just because of how funny he is. Him casted as the Grinch is the most perfect casting in all of cinematic history. And I really do think this movie is slept on. I don't know. Everyone's hyped it up with the introduction of TikTok and stuff. But Grinch is my number 1 slot. That wraps up my Christmas list. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Did I miss any movies? What are your guys' favorite movies? And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. And Merry freaking Christmas.